give me your last piece of gum, you bitch. You guys know I'm not an Amanda. An Amanda gets a law degree and has a 9-to-5. Mandy is either a stripper or a comic, and I chose comic because my hamstrings are too tight. Remind me later to say the Queef story. Cheaters win. Everyone who is successful pretty much cheated, right? Teacher kicked me out for laughing and gave me a referral because he thought I was high because it's just coincidentally was on 420. If we're talking about band and Mike is in a huge queef hole. Just let my teachers call me Amanda because I don't have it in me to raise my hand in front of all these kids I don't know and say, my name's Mandy. Welcome back to Misery Loves Mandy. Today we're doing all things miserable, embarrassing high school stories. Oh, just saying that gives me the cringes, the heebie-jeebies, the don't take me back. We did it. We don't want to relive it, but today we're going to relive it. I've got my stories, your stories, and even some from the news. Also, make sure tonight to join me live on YouTube, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time, where we're going to dabble more into the episode. And if you have anything you want to share, any personal stories, we're going to get into those. Also, join me on Patreon, where I tell you my blackout high school embarrassing stories, which there were more of those than sober embarrassing high school stories. Oopsie daisies. Also, join the Misery Loves Mandy Reddit, where every Monday and Wednesday we'll do an embarrassing moment and a weekly wiener. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for being part of the boom, 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 Wiener Nation. We're still sticking with that. All right, enjoy the episode. All right, to get us into the high school zone, we're going to start with some wieners about high school. That sounds, the worst I've ever combined the wieners with high school. Pet peeve, something that bugs you more than it should. High school in general bugs you more than it should. I think all in all, I did enjoy high school, but after this, we'll get into my stories and your stories. But let's dive into these. So my one that I really think of when I think of a high school, something that bugged me, it irked me so much, was when I would ask someone for a piece of gum, and they would say, "Sorry, I just have one piece left." I'm like, "Oh, perfect, because I only need one piece." What do you mean? Also, don't say it like that. If you're going to just say that, be like, "I want my last piece." Or, "Hey, why don't we split it?" Cool. Although when you chew a half a piece of gum, it does feel like it's going to just slip down your throat and you're going to swallow it because it's too small. But you know what? It's just the being nice. Or give me your last piece of gum, you bitch. Stephanie, give me your last piece of gum. Oh my God, speaking of Stephanie, remind me later to say the Queef story. I forgot to add that to my list. It's not in my notes, everybody. There's a Queef story. Shout out Stephanie. All right, so that was my one that holds on to me in my personal high school. There's one more I had, and anyone with a nickname will totally understand this. So I hated in school when the first day the teacher would always go roll call, and then she'd say, if anyone has a different name or a nickname that they'd like to be called, raise your hand. And they note it, they chart it down, they change it. And I could only imagine the nicknames that teachers get these days. Like it's gotta be wild, because now kids just want to be called whatever they want. But I've always gone by a nickname. My parents named me Amanda, which I despise. You guys know I'm not an Amanda. An Amanda, gets a law degree and has a 9-to-5. Mandy is either a stripper or a comic, and I chose comic because my hamstrings are too tight. I have the tightest hamstrings. My soccer coach used to always be like, "You're so bad in bed." No, he used to always say, "You're not fully stretching." Like, he thinks I was just being lazy. And I'm like, I can't Reach my toes, you jerk. They didn't do that testing with like the pull-ups and the, when the inches to your heels. That was middle school only, right?
No, they always did that shit.
Did they did it in high school too?
I think so.
I can't remember yesterday, so I don't know. That was a while ago. I mean, I just graduated. So young. I'm getting to the age where my brown spots are coming out on my face. My age, like the sun damage. And I learned recently, because I wanted to get them to go away, that these are old. Like, you don't get the brown marks. They're not from like tanning last summer. These are from tanning on my trampoline with baby oil all throughout high school. I should pop up a photo of me in high school. You would think I was Latina. I was so brown. I had a sun addiction problem, and I thought it looked good. And let me tell you, it's a beautiful skin color if it's your natural color, but it's unhealthy if that's what I turned my skin into. Anywho, my name's Mandy, and I don't like confrontation or just like, I would think I was loud with my friends, but I wasn't like comfortable going into the grocery store without my mom. Like, I never liked to do like, I don't know. So raising my hand when they did roll call was a lot for me. And I think a few years into school, I was just like, you know what? I'm going to just let my teachers call me Amanda, because I don't have it in me to raise my hand in front of all these kids I don't know and say, my name's Mandy. And it also feels like so like, oh, my name's Mandy. No, so I let teachers and any jobs I worked, I just let them call me Amanda. And then it would be good to separate Mandy from Amanda. But if I'm walking down the street and someone yells Amanda, I don't even turn. Like, it doesn't feel like me. But those two are my personal wieners for high school. I didn't. Think of yours, Mike, while I read these, if you have any.
Embarrassing high school stories?
Well, we'll get to those. A pet peeve about high school. Don't want to bring you back, but we're all in this together.
Oh, no.
Okay, I think I have so now we have some beautiful submissions of fans, Wiener Gang submissions. Not Wiener Gang, god damn it, Wiener Nation. I wanted it to be Wiener Gang so bad, but I can't. Wiener Nation submissions. Okay, so when all your friends are scheduled in a different lunch period. Oh yeah. That was a sad, sad time. You would have to sit with you'd feel bad. Like, I remember I would sit with friends that were more of acquaintances that you're just hanging out with them because no one else is there. But I don't think I ever had it too bad to where I was fully alone during lunch. But it was a bummer when the first half of the year you would be with your friends and be like, yeah. And then, or that would be bad if all your friends were together on one lunch period and then you were separated for the other lunch period. Ah, that's the original FOMO. No way. That's a classic. It's a classic. All right. People knowing you just because of your older sibling. Well, Mike and I can't relate to that one. I am the older sibling, but my brother was 3 years younger, but he was never, when I was getting out of high school, he was going into high school. I guess because I'm a summer birthday and he's a winter birthday. So we never were in the same school at the same time, but I could see that being annoying. One of my friends, she had an older brother, and she was just known as his sister. Also, people always say they want to have an older son and a younger daughter so that he can protect her. But if I'm thinking of personal experiences from high school, my friends that had older brothers always became little sluts because they were hanging out with the older brother's friends and then wanting to be hot around them, and then they would hook up and you're like, oh. An older sister wouldn't put up with that shit. They're like, you're not touching my brother. But I guess, I don't know. I mean, an older brother should. Just a personal thought from my personal experience. All right. Dress code policing for random reasons. I got in trouble for dress code all of the time. Well, I'm from Florida, so we'd always wear shorts, and they would do like the hands. I guess guys don't really have to deal with dress code as much, but they would do your shorts have to be as long as your fingertips. That was the rule back in the day. So you would like always like arch your shoulders up and try to get like your short length better. But I would get in trouble too because I'd always wear pajamas in school, which I just learned is trending now. I just learned that kids in high school wear pajamas, but they have like their own pajamas. Like they go to sleep in this pair of pajamas, and then they have their school pajamas, which is a whole other thing. My thing was I didn't feel like getting dressed in the morning. It's way too early. So I would just go to bed in what I wanted to wear to school the next day. And then I would get in trouble for wearing pajamas. So then I bought pajamas with pockets. So then I was like, these are pants. They have pockets. And I still don't think it worked. But I did when it was what is that called? When you win in the yearbook, like best, most popular, most likely to succeed. What are those called? I forgot.
Most likelies?
Sure, we'll call them the most likelies. I applied or whatever you had to do to get best dressed. And because I always dress like shit for school. And I thought I was going to win. I bought this white long sleeve, long pant unitard, and I was like, I'm going to wear this as the best dressed winner because they take a picture of you for the yearbook. Not the superlatives. Is that what it is? And I was like, I'm going to wear this unitard to show it doesn't matter, like fashion, who cares, haha. And I got on the list of like the top 4 so then people could vote for the classes. And I lost. But the worst part about this is the girl who won, she was not popular and she was on the yearbook club and she won multiple things. I'm like, somebody cheated.
It is superlatives.
It is a superlatives. I pulled that out of my ass. Wow. Ooh, superlatives. Yeah, so I was really bummed about that. I really wanted to win. If I could find the picture of the white unitard, I'll pop it up there. I know the picture. That would have been so fun, you know?
I was most artistic.
Most autistic?
Autistic.
I'm kidding. You really won most artistic? Wow, Mike.
Look at me now.
You're killing
Podcasting.
it. I mean, you have the best looking podcast footage in Hollywood, I would say, for sure. That's without a doubt. He does way more than podcasting. He does movies and all of the things. But yeah, I could see you winning that.
Very autistic also. Very, very autistic.
Are you a Tylenol baby? Is that what's trending right now? Before I forget, I wore my Green Day shirt. I wasn't going to wear this today, and I completely forgot to even bring up Green Day until I saw this in my closet. And if you know me from high school, I had a sick obsession with Green Day. Like, Billy Joe Armstrong was my king. I was so obsessed with him. My bedroom was black and green walls and white and black checkered floor. Just Green Day, everything. All I listened to was Green Day. And recently I did a show with Trey Cool and I met his wife, and it was just like, what? It was the coolest moment. He was front row at my show laughing at my jokes. I'm like, I could die now. If Billy Joe was there also, I would have been like, my career, I made it. I don't care about anything else. I am so happy. But yes, to represent high school, I wore my Green Day shirt. It is so weird when you're younger how you have these like obsessions with people. I think you just need something to focus on. All right. Everyone wanting to cheat off you, even though you're barely holding it together. Well, that sounds like the smart kid. The smart kid barely holding it together. There's this kid, Ryan. I forgot his last name. I can't believe I'm forgetting his last name. He was that kid who like never studied and always got A's and would party. I hate you. If you're that person, I hate you. Do you remember those people that... Were you that person? Were you smart in school?
Bees.
Bees are good. Yeah. B's are great. C's get degrees, baby. My GPA in high school was so bad. I think it was like a 2.3. Like I barely made it. But look at me now. Cheating. I failed Spanish because I didn't cheat and everyone was cheating, and I was trying to be like, look at me. And then I failed, and then I had to retake it. My senior year, I had to retake, I think, 3 classes that I failed. It sucked so bad. And then that's when you learn to cheat. Cheaters win. Everyone who is successful pretty much cheated, right? Apple was stolen, or you've stolen or cheated. Cheaters and stealers win.
Look at our president.
There we go, guys. I never mentioned politics. He said it. But hey, he made it. He made it. It's just how it is. I just need to cheat more. Okay.
Well, it's like somehow the dynamics from high school stayed the same, to where like if you were able to boss people around and cheat off their homework in high school and through college, well, then you were the boss at the company telling people what to do beneath you also.
Yeah.
You didn't learn the skill of being smart. You learned the skill of acquiring information. And now we have a bunch of assholes that are dumbasses running things.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Anyone who wants to rebel in the streets, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of Green Day, that's a great song. Nice guys finish last. It is a crazy skill to have, just to like be able to use your words. Just like, you don't have to be smart. You just are smart with your words, which I am not, if you can tell by me explaining this. Okay.
If you have the confidence to be a con man,
yeah,
you can make
You can make it far in life. That's what I'm missing. I think like this would be the #1 podcast if I just had the confidence of a con man. That could be the name of it.
So if you buy merch from us, you'll get entered to win a contest that you may possibly win. Blah blah blah.
I do.
A new car.
Oh, I have been thinking about doing a weekly thing on here with like the best story, because I have my Misery Loves Mandy ball caps, which are baller, and I have stickers and keychains and all these things. We'll think about it. Oh, there's so much I'm popping in. Alexis. This episode was Alexis's idea from Alive. Thank you, Alexis. You are the shit. If you guys have any episode ideas, comment them below for the solo ups and we will do them. Okay, more wieners. Having to, how do you say this word? Having to find confidence.
Feign confidence.
Feign. That means fake.
Pretend it, yeah.
Having to feign confidence when inside you're dying. I mean, we were just speaking of confidence, and that is high school in a nutshell. I was just embarrassed my thighs rubbed together. You thought about every little thing. I had the hairiest arms. That's another thing I didn't even write down saying. There's so many stories I don't say. Hairy and queef. Those are things we'll talk about later.
You just can't convince yourself that there's a not too distant reality where you will see none of these people and communicate with them. Never.
It's crazy. Like,
that exists for you out there, everybody.
Yeah.
You can cut yourself off from your community just like that.
Yeah, even like now, out of high school, out of whatever, if you embarrass yourself, if you do something you regret, you can just pack up and move. You don't even have to move far. I mean, maybe you have to get a new job, a new circle of friends.
California's warm in the winter, so you can be homeless here.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's really nice out. Best weather. Highly recommend if you need to go camping for a while.
On the streets of LA.
Yes. There's a great spot right outside of my apartment. The pressure to have a cool crew, like you need a posse just to survive. That is relatable. My problem was I wanted to be a part of every crew. Or not my problem. My problem is I liked every crew. So I was a little bouncing around crewer. But I do remember like certain cliques where you're like, oh, it was always the rich kids. Why did the rich kids always become part of the popular? Like I want a world where the rich kids aren't popular. I think they're popular because they have cool things and people want to party at their big mansion houses. I don't know. Just a thought. Your friend dating your crush. The most high school betrayal. Ooh, that's tough and very relatable. I think one of my friends, that was more middle school, like where a boy would like me and then I wasn't like ready to date, and then my friend would date them. That happened twice in middle school, but that wasn't bad because I didn't want to date them. But your friend dating your crush, that's soul crushing. A crush also has the crushing in it. You ever think about that? You ever think about that one? Last one. Teachers who give you pop quizzes. Yeah, that's messed up. When in life, at a job, always, are they going to say you need to do this last minute? What? I'm sure that actually probably happens at work all the time, but I've never worked a real job.
I think the trade-off should be no homework pop quizzes all the time.
Ooh.
That's what real life is.
That is what real life is. Aren't they getting rid of homework or something? They're like talking about getting rid of homework, I've heard. I don't have kids, so I don't know. But I've heard the rumor on the street is there's some homework drama. I think parents just don't want, after their long day, to then have to worry about their kids' homework. I don't even really mostly remember.
Well, that was one of my pet peeves. There's nothing more asinine than wasting time for an hour in a classroom. Like, just explaining shit to other fucking dumb fucks. and then everything that we were supposed to talk about and learn, it's like, hey, now go home and spend 2 hours doing this.
Yeah.
It's like, no. Fuck you. Like, what are you going to do? You get to leave here at 4 o'clock and you go to the bar that I work at. I know where I'll see you. And then I got to go home and read a book after work.
Yeah.
Like, you and I both go from high school to bar, where one of us works and one of us drinks, to me going home to do your shit-ass assignment, to then seeing you at 7 a.m.
Yeah,
I feel like I had it harder.
What if they did like the last hour of school was homework hour? Then it's like you have to learn to do stuff by yourself, but you're still like on the clock.
They're still assigning too much though. Like,
yeah, well they would have to make it manageable for that hour.
Times 7 classes.
7 classes? Is that how many classes we had in high school?
Yeah, we had a shit ton of classes.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It's like an 8-hour day of 7 classes. Yeah.
What a nightmare. No wonder why I never wanted to get a real job. I'm like, I went through school.
I graduated early. I was like,
you graduated early?
Yeah.
With B's?
Yeah, I was like, you can do this? All you had to do is have a certain amount of credits.
Oh,
I never
my
took
God.
study halls.
Wow.
So I was just like, oh, you can be out? You can be out half a semester or a semester early?
Oh my God. Did you walk with your class?
Yeah.
You
My parents would have been pissed.
Yeah, I'm sure. Wow.
Once in a while, I'd still come back and eat lunch with them. Be like, what's up, guys? Sit through all 3 lunch periods.
That's so funny.
Like, have you been drinking? Maybe.
So you graduated early, where I had to retake all the classes I failed my senior year. We did it a little different, but we both ended up here.
One of us owns the studio, one of us rents the studio.
I was waiting for that. Okay, it's all adding up. It all makes sense. Kids, do well in school. Do well in school. I don't think anyone in high school is listening to this. All right, let's get into the personal stories, and I'll start with my own trauma, because if we're going to get into this, I will put myself on the chopping block first. It is only fair. I wasn't going to say the 2 that I thought of so far was the queef. I have a joke about this, but there was this girl. Well, this was actually middle school, in my middle school science class. I used her name as Stephanie for the joke, and now I remember because someone DM'd me recently from school and was like, oh my God, I saw your joke. I remember that girl. She would queef during class, like on purpose. Like boys, you know how they do the armpit farts? This bitch would queef, like so loud, and it was so funny. And made a joke about her. Her name was, yeah. So then when he messaged me, I messaged my friend. I was like, what was her name? I called her Stephanie for the joke for so long, I forgot her real name. But it was Chelsea. So shout out Chelsea. She knew how to queef.
I don't remember the name of our Queef Girl either, but it's like everyone
said
had a Queef Girl.
That's so random. What did your Queef Girl do? Like same thing, like an armpit fart, just like a fun party trick?
Yeah, and it was one of those where she knew that she would get attention from boys over it. And guys that were going back, well, this is as close to a vagina interaction that I've had. All right.
Smell the air. Is this what it smells like? That's so weird. Did you guys have a Queef Girl? Comment if you had a Queef Girl. I mean, the fact that we're from very different parts of the country and we both had a Queef Girl.
I think it's a thing.
I mean, I think you accidentally, this is what I think happens. I think you're going day by day. You're just hanging out and you accidentally queef and you go, whoa, can I do that again? And then that you can. And then you practice the queefing and then you're like, I should probably show this off. You show it off to your friends and then you get to school and you're like, look what I could do, boys.
God, I'm thinking what this girl's name is. So,
do you have a lifeline? Is there someone you could text? I had to text my lifeline for her name.
No, that's the last thing on earth I ever want to do.
Man.
Reach back to someone in high school. Hey, who's Queef Girl?
That's so funny. My best friends are still my friends from high school.
I remember she was in the class above mine. So it's like all the guys in the year below would be like, oh, she's there.
Wow, that's so cool. Now, my joke is just like, now I wish I had queef confidence because anytime I queef, it's just during sex. And that just means I'm not going to come. Heyo.
Do a little crowd work with the audience. Asked anyone else go to high school with a Queef Girl?
Well, I would have never thought that was relatable.
I think it's a thing.
You guys have to comment because if there's a third person, then I'll do it as crowd work. I don't know. It just still seems so random. Another embarrassing high school thing. I've got so many, but I'm half Italian, so I'm half very hairy. And I had the hairiest like legs and arms. And in middle school, my mom started waxing my legs, which what an aggressive way to lose your hair. Waxing with it fully grown. It hurt so bad. I just laid down the towel. It just waxed. I guess maybe in their mind it was safer for a kid than to give them a razor blade. I don't know. I don't know the thought process. We'll have to ask my mom. I'm thinking that's what it was. So I had my legs waxed, but that did not help the hairy arms. My arms were so hairy. And every picture day was like you had to lean against something with your arms up, which like, okay, friend ain't saying her hairy arms, go kill myself. Like awful, awful. So then finally in high school, my mom took me to get laser hair removal. And this was like when it first came out, brand new. And I didn't know laser hair removal can only do darker hair. So they only were able to go up to like the top of my arm to remove that hair. So then I was like confident though, because I was like, oh, my hairy arms are gone. And I just remember like strutting through high school, like the halls, like, what up, boys? And this fucking guy goes, nice peach fuzz caps. Or like he made fun of the distinct line of where the hair stopped, and then there's just like all this peach fuzz that was so thick on my I just had like shoulder blades of peach fuzz, and I just died on the inside because I was feeling good, like finally my hairy arms are gone, and that just destroyed me. That wasn't the first time I've been called out for my peach fuzz. When this was in college. I went to a tailgate and Florida-Georgia game in Jacksonville. And I came out of the porta potties once again, feeling good. Fake ID was working. I got my little cleavage going with my little B cups. And this guy made fun of the peach fuzz in my cleavage. And I was drunk and young. I was like, oh, like it just takes, I mean, that's an aggressive, insecure thing. Like I will take anybody down at any age. Well, now I guess I don't care. I also think my peach fuzz is chilled. The older you get, it kind of like falls off. But like that was rough.
I can remember mean bullying from people back in the day from all different things in high school. But I remember a girl probably junior high age who had a cast on her arm. I think she might have even broke it a few times, but when she took the cast off, the hair on her arm was so dark and a different color. One kid did not let up on her forever about it. It was just like, hey, dude, are you trying to date her? Like, just leave the girl alone.
Leave
like,
her
the
alone.
Like, the one kid that I specifically remember talking about her hairy arm so much, it's like, hey, dude, she had a cast on for like 2 years. We all know why.
Yeah, because the other part got the sun, which would make it more blonde. So then
she probably had like steroids for like to try and heal the arm because she broke it multiple times. Like, it was a bad break type shit as a kid. Like,
yeah, let her just have her arm working again.
Yeah.
People are so mean. I remember once I was so insecure about my hair, and in Florida for school you could wear flip flops, and I have like pores on my feet. There's really not much hair. I guess I've got it lasered, but I've got hair on my feet. Whatever. Still insecure about that one. Still, I don't like that one. But there's the pore.
I don't like it either.
I don't. It sounds disgusting. Should we cut this part, you guys? I'm so insecure about this.
No, it's great.
Oh no! Oh no! So I shaved my foot and I cut it, and I remember being in school and this kid, I could picture his face, I don't remember his name, was like, did you cut your foot shaving it? And the rest of the day, I just sat with my feet like over each other.
I'm never wearing sandals again.
Oh, God. I still won't wear like flats, like, you know, the one where the top of your foot's like open. What are those called? Flats.
Thong sandals or whatever?
No, I still wear those and you can see my
whatever.
feet. But like they're like the slip-on, like ballet slipper flats. Because it's just like your whole top of your foot is just wide open. And the body. What are you going to do? Hair is insecure. It shouldn't be. If you look at 90s movie stars, they have the hairiest arms, the most jacked up teeth. No one cared back then. Now it's just crazy.
Back in that standard definition. Now we in that 4K.
Oh my God, I know. Oh no, don't look at me. Those aren't even the stories I was planning to say. That's not even the ones I wrote down. I'm gonna give you guys one more, and then we'll do all of like I was saying, we'll do the drunk stories, blackout high school stories, and the Patreon. I think that's fitting for Patreon. So my last sober high school story before we get into yours is I've talked about this before. So in middle school, I was in band and I played the oboe because I remember the first day of band, the teacher goes, and this is the hardest instrument. And I raised my hand and I was the only one who raised their hand. And then this girl, Christina, ended up joining me in the oboe. She was so bad at it, so I felt pretty good. Hardest instrument, let me do it. And I had to get lessons every week. I became so good at the oboe. And if you don't know what the oboe is, it's the instrument that they fuck in American Pie. It's the one with the little baby reed. And I think everyone just knows it from that. Do you know what an oboe is?
I do.
Why do you know what an oboe is? From band?
From middle school.
Oh, middle school band.
From having a Midwest education. I know what a clarinet is, too.
Yeah, that's
Very
more
similar.
popular.
Yeah.
Similar. We'll get to the clarinet.
You want to talk bassoons?
That bassoon is the bigger oboe.
There you go.
What did you play? Did we talk about this before?
I played trombone for 1 year and then none of that. Stuck with baseball like a real guy.
Good choice.
Carrying that fucking trombone around at like 5th grade, that thing's just too big.
Huge. And it's so much spit. The trombone is like all of those ones were like, okay.
I got Saints Marching In down. We're good. I could do the ba 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 da da da.
There you go.
Yeah, I could do a little fight song.
And then retire.
Da, 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 da.
See, he did what I wanted to do. Middle school band, be done, move on. I played soccer, I played lacrosse, I was doing sports, like I was doing academics outside, like we were taken care of there. So I think it's mainly since I got lessons all throughout middle school and I was good at it. I won little awards, not to brag. So then high school comes and I'm like, I don't want to do band. That's social suicide, you know? And my parents are like, you just have to do it in 9th grade. Just give it a shot. And I'm like, no. And they made me do it, which I'm surprised I like gave in. Maybe part of me like wanted to do it, you know? And so I did it. This is the worst part about all of this. So the oboe has a really delicate reed, which I was so into the oboe, I handmade reeds. I personally wrapped them. I got colors. But so the reed is so sensitive and delicate that you can't do it in marching band because like moving, it'll just break it. So not only did I have to do marching band, but I had to play the clarinet in marching band. And I don't know how to play the clarinet. It's an entire other instrument. It maybe like looks the same kind of as the oboe, but it's not. It's all different. So I got to play the oboe like in class. And then for marching band, I had to fake an instrument. I that should have been enough for my parents to be like, you don't have to do this. So I didn't tell anybody I was in marching band. Not one person. I didn't get to do flag football because it was the same time as marching band. And I would be on like the practice field. I could visualize it so clear. And then all the cool kids were on the other field playing flag football. I hid from everybody. I told everyone I couldn't go to the football games because I had to babysit. I asked my friend Laura on the phone, one of my closest friends from high school. I said, did you know I was in band? And she goes, no, I had no clue.
They couldn't see your ass out there?
No, there were so many. The marching band's huge. And no one's looking at the marching band.
But then there's other people in the band that know you're in band.
Well, they weren't friends with the cool kids. They were band kids. And all the band kids.
How big was your high school class?
Can we look that up? Wellington High School class 2008. What did it say? How big? What do you say?
I just think that's like a movie thing that someone does of like, I completely hid the fact that I was in marching band and all of this shit and nobody ever knew.
No one ever knew.
Even though I was marching out on like
the field in front of everybody.
Yeah.
I would see my friends
That's like a fucking Lizzie McGuire plot line. That shit's not real.
It's my life. I could see them in the bleachers and I would be like full hat uniform. I have to find the photos. I have the sideways ones with like the black, like those like really like straight up marching band photos. And so no one knew, even though Mike thinks I'm lying. And what if everyone knew and people would say something?
Everyone knew and didn't give a shit.
Or they didn't know and give a shit. So that's what I was going to say. So then Crocodile Rock was the song. So anytime I hear that song, I'm like, oh no. And I memorize that whole thing. Now thinking back, it's kind of cool. Even when I'm walking next to people, I'll do my little footstep to get on track with them. With my hairy feet. You guys are learning way too much about me. Okay. And so I one day ran into someone, and this is exactly to Mike's point. I was in my uniform about to go out, and I came face to face with a guy from the lacrosse team. And I was on the girls lacrosse team, and I just remember being like, huh. And I was like, huh. And then I don't think he said anything to anybody because, to your point, I don't think anybody cared.
Because he was on his way to theater club and didn't want anyone to know.
We were like, I won't tell if you won't tell.
This is the plot to American Pie 2. Guy from lacrosse. Like, I don't want anyone to know. I got theater over here. This is my real passion.
Yeah. So, I don't think he said anything. I do think, though, like, if someone found out, they would say something to me. Like, if any of my friends. I don't know.
Maybe they thought how wild it would be to think that you thought you were hiding being in the band from everyone. Meanwhile, you were out in front of everybody 8 times a season.
During practice, too.
Well, would you be happy to know that there's a whole subreddit, 15 years old, talking about queefing on command?
Really?
Yes.
And they call it queefing on command?
Yes.
That's the craziest thing because on my joke, for my joke, I say, I wish I could queef on command. And that was just the natural verbiage I thought of.
Well, you just suck in your stomach and it's no big deal. You just do this. These are the comments.
It's teaching you how to do it?
Yeah.
Wow. How exciting. We can all learn.
Me too. I figured it out when I was in middle school, I think. I just thought it was funny fart for years after that. Or funny as a fart.
In middle school?
Yep. Another person says, I do it all the time. My guy friends think it's gross. My girlfriends think it's hilarious.
That's crazy that this is relatable. You know, I haven't done that joke in a while, and I have to bring it back.
I'm like a whoopee cushion. It grosses out some of my guy friends, but cracks up all the girls.
I would think the girls would be grossed out, but that the guys would laugh at it.
Yeah, men need to get over the whole vaginas are scary unless I'm horny thing. They're hilarious and fun, always.
So crazy. Man. Well, I guess to end the whole marching band story, I think it is sad that we think that we have to be cool in school and hide things that we really enjoy. Because I do remember loving hanging out with everybody in band. And marching band was kind of cool. Just, you know, you do a thing that's hard to do. And I don't know what it's like now in school. If kids are less judgy, I think it's I feel like it's becoming cool to be not cool right now.
Oh, don't explore far. You will find girls queefing on command on TikTok.
Mike is still on the queefs. We're talking about band, and Mike is in a huge queef hole. We'll talk more about queefs on Reddit. We're going to try to see if I get queef on Reddit. Not on Reddit, on Patreon. Whatever will get you to either, you guys. Okay. So I think I have one more quick one. There's so many high school stories. You know, one thing a pet peeve of mine, and it's reminding me, but I'm only saying these stories because it's the theme of the episode. But one of my pet peeves is like that friend that only talks about stories from their past. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Old glory days guy.
The old glory days guy. Because it's kind of sad. It makes me feel like they're sad. Like, it's fun to talk about these stories, but like, if it's the only thing that makes you happy, reliving these stories only, I don't know.
I disappoint that guy every time because he goes, "You remember when this?" And I go, "No, I smoke weed, brother."
Smoke weed every day. Yeah. So don't. Or like when people retell their old stories, sometimes you just don't care, you know? So I'm feeling insecure saying these because as a judger of someone telling their old stories, I'm like, nobody cares. And I'm like, oh, there's one more. But I'm going to say one more. Only because I'm allowed to because it's the theme. This is my time to shine. I still feel disgusting, but this is the last one. So I was put into fashion class in 9th grade, and I was kind of like... when I had to do something that I didn't like, I didn't handle it well. I was kind of a brat, I guess is the word. So I don't remember what class I wanted to be in, but I was put into fashion. And I was so pissed. And it ended up being my favorite class. I bought all these sewing machines, a serger. I got really into fashion. And Miss Cunningham was my favorite teacher. You know when you remember the name. Also Miss Sheehan in middle school. Those are my two favorites. And I love fashion. I did it all through high school. You just sewed. And she always put on the Ellen show. That was on the TV. And it was my last class. And I slept a lot in school. It was weird. I would put on Screamo music and like have my hair down and cover my headphones and sleep in class. And what was I doing?
C's.
That's how you get C's. But Miss Cunningham, we were like doing things. Like it was fun. You got to sew. But I just slept a lot. When I have to study or do something I don't want to do, still to this day, I'll go to sleep. It's like my recovery mechanism of how to save myself. I just like, if I go to sleep, they can't hurt me.
Yeah, don't do that in every situation because I don't think it works the way you expect it to.
Heard that. Stay awake sometimes, but if you're studying and don't want to study, specifically studying alone, safe in your house, then you can go to sleep. So I fell asleep in Miss Cunningham's class, and it was my last period, and she didn't wake me up. She didn't see me there. I wake up, the whole room is dark. And it's like 20 minutes past school ending.
Oh, she did not see you there. She's teaching you something, Mandy. 10 years later, you still haven't learned?
Okay, maybe she did see me and thought this would be funny. Either way, I went to sleep in class and slept way past the bell and everything. I just remember waking up being like so confused. And like, oh my God, how did I not hear anybody? That was a good sleep. I was tired. And I was already in my pajamas, so we were good.
Yeah, that teacher looked at you after working a hard day and was like, this bitch is sleeping in her pajamas over here. Just, I hate my life. Southern Florida, just a tip. I'm out of here. I'm going to get a margarita before it's happy hour's over.
Yeah, exactly. So those are some of my high school stories. Those are my fun, lighthearted ones. But let's get into your guys' stories. Enough of my humiliation. So like I said, I have not read any of these beforehand. This will be the first time reading them. So I stopped saying the names, but now I'm like, should I say the first name? Do you think people want to hear their name, or do they want, what is the safest way to do? If they didn't say don't say their name, then I think it's fine to say a name.
Sure.
Just first names. First names only. Okay. So this is from Kate. I was at a community pool with a couple friends sitting in a chair in my bathing suit, and we were really, really, really high. I laughed at a joke and I pissed myself, and the pee just went straight on the ground, and obviously everyone could see and hear it. And yeah, it was very awkward and embarrassing, and my friend just laughed, and I didn't know what to do, so I just sat there and probably peed some more. Yay, a pee story! My kind of girl. That's a lot of pee. You know, if it's making noise, dropping through, if it goes through the clothes, but it was a bathing suit, so there wasn't much of a layer there.
Yeah, if she was wearing denim or something, I'm hearing a waterfall. What the fuck?
Oh, it's impressive.
Yeah.
What did you drink?
Yeah. Queef, 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 queef.
What if you, yeah, I wanted to, can you pee and queef at the same time? What would happen? That's only one way to find out. That's a fun pee story. It's a good lighthearted one. You were in your bathing suit, still embarrassing. But also, if you guys are all high, I would think like everyone would laugh at it. You know,
it's from laughter.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
We'll still make fun of you later, high school.
Yeah, it is high school, so anything is embarrassing. But that is a fun one. I didn't smoke in high school. Everyone smoked in high school. I always say that alcohol saved me from doing drugs, because I just was always drunk that I was like, I can't take something else, or I never had an inkling to do drugs or smoke weed. Now I love weed. As you all know, I'm new. But yeah, no. Did you smoke in high school?
Yes.
I think you said that earlier. Yes. Okay. High school. Oh, this is from Mimi. High school, Mr. and Mrs. Muccino. Don't remember their names. I don't know, but the teachers were married and both worked at the school, and the husband had an affair with the cheerleading coach. Ooh, that's just like a fun high school gossip. So they were both teachers at the school, and the teacher had an affair with the cheerleading coach. That's fun. When there's like some lighthearted gossip going around. I mean, that's not lighthearted for their lives. That's a very life-ruining or life-changing choice. That's a nice way to say it. But yeah, I remember what was this one teacher's name? They called him like, they made fun like Mr. I know like Mr. Molester, but his first name was his M with an M. So it was like Mr. Mama Molester, and I think he got fired for that. That's not a fun one. But yeah, that was another teacher. Cut. I'm kidding. Okay, so this story is from Laura. It was the first day of school, my junior year, and at the end of the day, it was pouring rain. So everyone was standing under the awning, awaiting for the rain to let up. I decided to make a run for it to my car with my friend, and I ended up tripping and eating shit. And I completely busted my knee and foot open. Ah! And all my books that I was holding went flying, and the whole school saw me. I was also having a lot of my friends come back to my house to smoke weed, and everyone showed up. I was sitting in my kitchen sink dealing with my gushing blood. I also wasn't able to drive home because I was bleeding so much, and my friend had to drive my car home. Good start to the new school year. I still have a scar on my left foot from that. Oh, God. Eating shit and the books flying in the rain in front of everybody. That's a good one. And then having to see them right after. That moment, though, was probably like when someone's really hurt, no one's really making fun of you, you know? If you're kind of lucky you were gushing blood because that took away from the jokes. If you just fell and there was no injury, then you'd get made fun of more. So you know what? You kind of saved yourself with that one, you know? It was almost a rom-com moment until the blood. That would be funny if, like, in a meet cute, the person just gets, like, totally fucked up.
It's almost till it wasn't.
Yeah. Once again, the weed. Everyone smoked weed in high school. Okay, this one's from Colin. I used to get the bus to school. I used to take the bus to school and was genuinely in a rush. The previous day, I'd been straight out with friends and had arrived home quite late. My mom was furious. But it says mum. My mum was furious and grounded me. So
She's from the other side of the pond.
My mom was furious and grounded me. So I stormed upstairs, pulling my clothes off in a temper to put on my PJs. The following morning, again, beginning in a rush to get to the bus, I pulled on my school clothes, running to get to the bus, and I remember my trousers felt kind of uncomfortable. Oh no. As I reached it and jumped into the bus, yesterday's underpants flew out of my trouser leg and landed on the shoulder of the grumpiest lady teacher who was also on the bus. Oh no. I've totally done the double underwear in the old pants. In fact, in the first instance, she hadn't realized, but the front few rows had and were laughing hysterically. Being a joker, I claimed after it was deliberate to save face with my peers. It wasn't, and I was totally and utterly embarrassed. All the best, Mandy. I've also suffered the humiliation of being interviewed. Yes, really, for a job in my underpants. Oh, no. Solid call, though, to, like, act like you did it on purpose. Like, that's a clutch instinct move, you know? Alpha that situation.
Got her.
Yeah.
Got her with the stink pants.
That's crazy though. I've had multiple instances where like you forget underwear is in like pants or like a pocket or like something like that. That reminded me of I remember one day I went to school and I got to school. I was like, oh, it smells. I put on like a hoodie that was on the ground that my dog peed on. And I like a lot of the times I just wear a sports bra and a hoodie.
I did that when I'd gotten a kitten in college. Yeah, and at like 2 days old, I'm sitting in class. I like just woke up, put something on, went straight to class, and then I just was like, I gotta go home and change clothes immediately.
Just the strongest sense.
Yeah, it's like. Mm-hmm.
And I feel like animal pee is a different smell of pee.
Oh God.
Oh, I had to sit. I didn't get to go home. I like the whole all through the day just smelled like pee. I don't know.
I was in college, so there wasn't an ask. I was like, I'll be back in 15 minutes, or I won't be back, and fuck yourself. Yeah.
I smelled like pee the whole time. But the underpants flying on a teacher is a beautiful, perfect high school embarrassing story. You nailed it. Okay. Life is unpredictable at times. After school, I went directly to the drugstore to pick up some necessary items. I finally got to the front of the line. There were many people behind me. The cashier gets on the store loudspeaker and says, "Price check, ladies. Tampons. Price check." As if it wasn't embarrassing enough. That cashier goes up to ring the second item. Again, she announces on the loudspeaker, "Price check, ladies. Panties. Price check." I'm totally mortified. I quickly pay and make a mad dash for the bathroom. I'm sharing this with a special friend. You, Mandy. Oh my God. You can't make these things up. I hope this story works for you. Mama G. Geller. Aww. I don't know what it is about tampons when you're younger. Like now we've talked about this where like kids are so open like about like tampons, but like if you needed a tampon or if you had to go to the bathroom, you would just hide it in your arm or your sleeve, or like you wouldn't want anyone to know you were smuggling a tampon. And it being announced on the loudspeaker, I would have just turned bright red. I turn red when I'm embarrassed. I hate it. First I'll like rash out on my neck and then my chest and my face, and I'm like, oh God. I would not have liked that. No. But now we can just freely ask for tampons and whatever we want. And I hope kids now do, which I think they do. But yeah, no thanks. You didn't have to deal with that. What would be the equivalent to a high school, middle school kid? I guess like getting a boner unexpectedly.
That's rough. Yeah.
Is there anything else like equivalent to like a female getting their period being young?
Yeah, no bleeding stories from the guys. No.
I think the boner thing, right?
Yeah, I think it's pretty comparable.
Yeah. Blood, boners. Okay, that was another good one. Okay, we got a long one. Long one for the last one. Let's get comfortable. Okay. So this is from Jacob. So in high school, I dabbled in the drugs. Back to the drugs. You guys, I think I found my fan base. Everyone that smoked weed in high school. And you know what? I love it. I said I didn't smoke weed in high school, but all my friends did. So, all right. So in high school, I dabbled in the drugs. Haha, typical stoner hippie type shit. And I tried a lot of drugs. I was also not the best at attendance of high school. I failed that for sure, LOL. My percentage of days I was there was way lower than the days I skipped to go get fucked up with my friends. While at least a couple times I looked back and questioned my life decisions, especially back then. One of the moments that sticks out the most to me was when my buddy and I got some Oxy 80 time releases from a friend and decided the best time to take them would be that morning at school. Took the first one, didn't know it was time release at the time, made it through the first class and didn't feel anything. Oh no, are you going to say what I think you're going to say? So what do all great geniuses do in this moment? They meet at the water fountain to decide to take another. No! Well, about 15 to 20 minutes later, we realized we are fucked up. We slept through every class, and when we woke up, there was too much movement and light and life going on that the drugs couldn't handle it and sent us straight into the restroom to throw up in between classes. Most other days, we would just be smoking weed or drink and just leave school. But this time, no. We were far gone, and the doors out felt like an impossible feat. So we would throw up and run to class just to put our heads down and sleep in preparation for the next round of life that was about to throat fuck us dry until we piled again and went out to the next class. This was in high school, and I look back now at 34 years old and wonder why the fuck we got that fucked up and stayed at school. My stepdad picked me up from the friends after school that day, where I left him with a puke bucket and a phone to call me because I knew he was fucked when his mom got home. Our lips were purple. We looked like we both spent the day blowing Barney. We parted ways. He got grounded for being caught so fucked up. I, on the other hand, made it almost back to my house before I threw up all over the side of my stepdad's work vehicle. I claimed to have a stomach bug or something to divert the attention from just how fucked up I actually was. But realized later on that I spent all day with Luke and all day with puke all over my clothes. It said Luke. Probably smelled horrible and stayed at school just to throw up every 45 minutes when we had to go to our next class. Another drug, we were leaving school, but no, not on the strongest pain pill known to man at the time. Our dumbasses decided to stay the whole day to the brink of death, and not a single teacher said shit. That's crazy. Not my best fucking judgment call, and a hell of a day for a sophomore year in high school. LOL. Whew. I mean, first of all, I'm glad you didn't overdose. You know, like that's my first thought. I've never taken an oxy. What is it?
I haven't taken oxys either, but I guess it's more like synthetic heroin-y type.
Okay. I know that they are very popular. Like that's like a popular people get addicted to. What's the difference between an oxy and a Xanax?
I don't know these things.
I don't know either. But yeah, I'm glad you were okay. And that's at least your friend's parents didn't call your parents and throw you under the bus. I remember this girl, Annie, we got caught at a party, and like my parents were like, I don't think I got caught, or they didn't care, until Annie's parents had to call and try to get everybody in trouble. And then your parents are like, well, I don't want to look bad, you know? And I'm like, ugh. Fucking Annie's parents. But that's a good one. I'm glad you're okay. That sounds like the worst day of school ever. Wild the teachers didn't say anything. But Miss Cunningham also let me sleep through school. So who knows? I think teachers probably get to a point where they're like,
Did your school have Saturday schools for kids who got in trouble and then had to like come and sit at the school from like 7 a.m. to 2 in the afternoon on a Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
There was a couple kids I knew that were fucking super dumb and would get wasted, and one of them drew all over the other one, just all over his face and everything. This is before camera phones, so it's not like the other kid had an easy way to tell.
Oh my God.
He walked right in there, and like the football coach or someone was the person running the class immediately. He's like, Joe, get over here. Joe, do you know there's a dick on your face? Get out of here.
That's a classic.
Yeah, it's like there's so much more than just.
Classic move.
Yeah.
I got a referral once. It was my math class, junior or senior year. Forgetting this girl's name too. I used to hang out with her. And Laura? No. Oh, her house always smelled like mothballs. But one day she was mad at our teacher, and she asked to go to the bathroom, and he said no, Mr. Sanchez, and how do I remember these names? He said no, you can't go to the bathroom, and she goes, well, I'm going to the bathroom. I have to go to the bathroom, and she gets up, she makes this whole scene, and then there was like a water bottle sideways, and her foot rolls on it, and she slides and eats shit. And I could not stop laughing for the life of me. She left the class, and I just couldn't stop replaying it in my head. Like I just couldn't stop seeing it, and I would laugh, and then I would stop, and then I would picture it again, and then I would laugh again, and I just couldn't. I had the giggles so hard. It was the funniest thing in the world to me. Just like it's the perfect anger and then embarrassment. And then the teacher kicked me out for laughing and gave me a referral because he thought I was high, because it's just coincidentally was on 420. And I was like, I'm not high. That was just so funny. So then I get into the principal's office, and she's in there. So then she's like, why are you here? And I'm like, because I couldn't stop laughing at you eating shit. And then they ended up dropping the referral just to a detention once they knew I like wasn't high. But I was like, that's crazy that I am being sent for laughing. Do you ever see something embarrassing and then you just can't stop seeing it? You know what I mean?
We had a kid who did the old lean back in his chair.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Then did the sneeze, fart, fall combo. Rest in peace, Shane.
Oh, man. Yeah, that would be a one that would get me.
Yeah.
You know what? I just thought the only thing I missed from school was cracking my back on the desk. It was like attached, and you just go like that, and it would crack your back so good. You don't need no man when you got a school desk to crack your back. That's the only thing I miss from school. Wow. I wanted to do the good news, bad news, but we're at an hour already, aren't we? Maybe I could do a speed round of good news, bad news. All right, let's jump into some good news, bad news from some outside high school stories. So we'll start with, what do we say? Good news or bad news first?
Bad news.
Bad news. So Malibu high school seniors went full demolition derby, super glued locks, spray painted walls, broke furniture, and even shoved a golf cart down the stairs. Damage in tens of thousands of dollars. It wasn't a prank, it was a riot. I want to see if did they get in trouble? That's what I want to know. About 40 current and former students went on an unacceptable rampage at Malibu High School. Typical rich kids, you know? We know you're rich if you're at Malibu High School. Some could soon face prosecution. Woo! This behavior is completely unacceptable and negatively impacts the entire Malibu community. Calm down. Yeah. The whole community. Wow. There's the pack of pupils. Who calls it pupils? Superglued locks to 20 classrooms that made them inaccessible for a day. Ripped down exterior clocks, spray painted explicit messages and inappropriate images on the walls, and broke tables and tables and seats. Now you can't crack your back. I just think that it's really disrespectful, another student said. Okay, nerd, calm down. Especially by throwing around food when people don't even have it to eat and you just want to waste. Okay, enough with the quotes. That is too much. That is a little too far for the school pranks. I wonder if like one person started doing something and then it just snowballed and got crazy. I don't remember like any school pranks.
You used to like write stuff on the windows or do innocent stuff, and then it started getting ridiculous as things would go viral and be like, oh, we're going to destroy the shit out of this place. It's like, no.
No, that sounds pretty bad. That's like just tens of thousands of damage. You've gone too far.
Kids are getting stupid.
But the good news is a lighthearted senior prank that went viral. So this was in Texas this year. It's graduation season, which means classes are almost out and seniors are doing what they're always doing this time of year, living it up their last few days of high school. 2 classmates of 2025 teens pulled off the ultimate senior prank that sent their small town into a frenzy over Texas's favorite grocery store. Sealy High School seniors Connor and Landon created a fake HEB coming soon sign, placed it on an empty piece of land in the middle of the night. Their sign was so convincing that by the next morning it was posted all over Facebook, with residents celebrating, sharing, and tagging their friends. The boys had no idea their prank would send the whole town into a frenzy. They put the sign up in the middle of the night, and by 7:15 a.m. the next morning, it was already spreading all over social media. But it shows a picture. It said that like the back, if you looked at the sign, it said seniors class of 2025. The prank had the whole town fooled, and so many had gotten their hopes up that the HEB would finally be building a store in Sealy. While Sealy does have a Walmart Supercenter and a family smokehouse, the closest HEB is 21 miles east to the Houston area. Our community had been wishing for an HEB since we moved here, and we have been on and off rumors about one coming for the past 15 years. Safe to say their prank hit a nerve. That is a perfect... No, nothing was harmed. Fun senior prank. Way to do it, guys. I would be bummed, though, if I lived in a town with nothing and I thought my favorite store was coming and it was a prank. I would be pissed. I've never heard of HEB. Have you?
Yeah, it's a big grocery chain.
Okay. Publix all the way. Publix! That was the biggest letdown when I moved to LA. I got Ralph's instead of Publix. Ralph's. And I wasn't even in a good neighborhood, so the Ralph's was not a good Ralph's.
Don't talk shit about my Ralph's. Sherman Oaks Ralph's.
Oh,
money.
Yeah, as I said, every Ralph's is built different. Not my Publix though. Publix is the best. A pub sub. What other grocery store has a famous sandwich? There might be more. I just don't know of HEB. All right, you guys, we did it. High school stories. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to join the live tonight, 6 p.m. I always have to say the times, and I should stop because it makes my brain just go blah. But Wednesday, join me tonight. And if you have any ideas for the next solo episode, like Alexis had for this one, just comment them below, and we'll cover what you want to talk about because I care about you. Okay. Anything else? Anything else? Do we wrap up? Yeah, go to Patreon. We'll see you at Patreon, where I'll tell my drunk high school stories if you care. Okay, bye.